But yeah, when I asked you to do this, I was like, oh shit, she said yes. That's amazing.
Because you legitimately thought she was going to say no.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way.
I get asked to do podcasts a lot.
No shit.
Yeah, because I'm a meditation trainer.
Huh.
So I teach meditation. So a lot of wellness people will reach out to me. We also, we run a weight loss clinic. So people.
Oh, that's one of the questions.
The women's chamber wants to talk to me. It's just because I run a business. So it's just people are always looking for women in business, minorities in business,
And I would imagine, you're on the top of that echelon.
Yeah.
Because of your title, right?
I'm a physician. I'm a woman. I'm brown. So it's like I hit a lot of
you get a lot of the boxes. Yeah, that's tight. Yeah, roll with the gifts you got.
So a lot of people ask me to come talk about things.
That's eligible for all the grants.
Yeah.
All the grants.
If I was Native American Indian instead of Indian, then maybe. But being Asian Indian actually puts me in the bottom because it's like everyone is a genius.
Oh, dang.
Dang.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Stereotypes sometimes can be true.
All those math geniuses and.
What are they talking about? I heard a funny one about Ukrainians. They're like the ultimate like white person / Asian person mix, because it's like all the smarts with like all the muscle at the same time.
Oh yeah.
So it turns them into like ultimate killing machines if they want to be. I was like, I've never had that thought before.
I bet most Americans had never heard of the Ukraine prior to 2 years ago. I bet I saw cars.
It was like a blip, and I immediately forgot.
But part of the problem is that whole region over there, like, there's countries that were countries when I was growing up that are no longer countries. Yep. Like Czechoslovakia doesn't exist anymore. Like, it's something else. I think it's actually Ukraine now, right?
Do you want to
Part
drink?
of it is, anyways.
I don't think so. No,
we got waters and stuff and sodas.
I had root beer.
Okay, cool.
It's the Czech Republic now.
Root beers. Okay. We drink those Zevias.
And
what?
Zevias?
No, what is that?
Like calorie-free sodas.
It's fake sodies.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Sodies with no real sugar. And like,
yeah.
It's like stevia. It's got like stevia in it.
I'll do this the whole time too. You'll be talking about something and I'm all squirrel.
Yeah. Constant.
All right.
Constant. So you just roll with the
How
detours.
long have you guys been friends? What's the story here between the three of y'all?
There was this big gay orgy.
Yes.
Right?
All right.
I was playing King that day.
Lots of wieners and poop.
Where was I?
No, it's just
I'm in the wrong profession.
Yeah, it's all tat shop related.
So you're also.
He's the nerd.
He has to listen to you.
He's the dude that runs all this stuff.
He knows how to do a computer.
Because we don't know how to turn those on.
Okay.
I thought we were friends.
He's been mad for weeks because he found out we had coffee without him. But he was at work. Like, he couldn't have made the coffee.
Hold on, we didn't.
Oh, yeah, it does get sucked. It just sucks to get left out, right?
We only had coffee once, though. The other times, the only other time Waylon calls me is to help him with things, like moving heavy objects.
Yeah, I'm a Facebook marketplacer. And so is my wife. Oh. My wife constantly finds real heavy stuff, like dressers. So it's him every time. I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
Every time.
And every time he's like, nothing. I'm going to come pick you up. We're going to go pick up something heavy.
Hey, I got a Facebook marketplace purchase this week.
What'd you get?
I bought a bike trailer for my kid.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, like a 1200.
You didn't just repurpose the dog one?
No, got rid of that thing. It made it like literally 2 rides, a grand total of maybe 10 minutes before he got a hold of the front flap and ripped it in half. And I was like, well, and then he was sticking his head out and he about got his head stuck in the rear tire.
He's trying to bite it.
I was like, oh, this is not going to work out for my dog. So that was a waste of $400. So I gave that to my neighbor and went and spent another $400 on a used one.
Jeez. Nick's in a different tax bracket.
But
he'll spend $400 on a trolley behind his bicycle.
So this was a $400 used one. But this thing new, and this thing looks brand new, but this thing new is like $1,200. So I was like, yeah, $400. Yeah, I'm down.
It's just a cart with 2 wheels. It hooks onto your bike.
Yeah, but it's got.
They sell those for like.
It's a rickshaw.
It's got.
yeah. It's a rickshaw.
Yeah.
His kids.
There's someone in India who is laughing at you.
Oh,
but
yeah,
it's got suspension and it's got
$400.
Yeah.
It's a rickshaw. I never thought about it like that.
I haven't either. Yeah, it's working out well
probably
already.
because we don't have rickshaws.
No, dude.
But they would be awesome. They're the little 3-wheel bicycle things,
I think they have some downtown, no?
They're a little, yes, they're
like-
just like that.
It's like a chariot.
But that's
versus
a romantic
That's like a pen
escapade, and there's it's
Nick and I
around
are
the
totally
park.
gonna get one.
totally not that
Rickshaws
romanticized.
Yeah,
when
rickshaws
you're-
are chaos, right?
Well, it's you know,
It's a taxi.
It's a taxi. It's a means of transportation.
What are they, the bicycles or the motorcycles?
I bet those
In
seats
heavily
are
congested
sweaty,
cities. It's just very.
right? Those seats are probably sweaty.
Well, you're lucky. A seat is a
luxury on it?
big. That's a big
You're
word.
paying extra. That guy's doing well in the rickshaw
Yeah,
business.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, man!
You're lucky if you get like a little wooden plank.
Shit, man!
Most of those
Homeboy's
are
got
home
a seat.
fashioned. Like they've actually built those themselves. You know, they've made it. I mean, they can't.
Working with
They
what
don't
they
got
got.
no $400. That's what they make in 2 years.
That's crazy. Yeah, I get kind of jealous sometimes. I'll see a picture of you on the internet, like in India, I'm assuming, and I'm like, fuck, I want to go there. That looks like fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
How many times a year do you go?
Well, I go once every 2 years. Of course, COVID didn't.
Okay.
You know, that was a huge gap there. But yeah, once every 2 years.
Man, I gotta make a trip.
I work with
You do,
a bunch
you'd
of
love
I
it.
want to go
Indians,
see some stuff.
so they're always over there.
And the art there.
That's why I want to go.
And the tattoo art and just the art in general is
Yeah, I would love to like
phenomenal.
tattoo the population for like
Phenomenal.
nothing, just because it'd be fun
yeah.
on a street corner.
Or just see what they do. It's so different.
So do you
Just hand
still have
them the
like
machine.
family in India?
Yeah, I do.
yeah?
I'm not very close to them, but I go for spiritual retreats. I go to an ashram there.
Okay, so you don't. It's not like your parents are still.
No,
there
my
or
parents
anything
are
like that.
in Cyprus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cyprus is nice.
So is it
wife's
true
parents
that in
are.
India, like the northern Indians absolutely hate the southern Indians and vice versa?
No, it's everyone against the Pakistanis. It's really not.
Everyone versus the Pakistanis.
Not really.
I'm
It's
not
really
familiar
not.
at all with the like.
They're like, look,
Geography over
man,
there.
we can set our differences aside.
Yeah, it's like New
Fuck these
Yorkers.
Pakistanis.
It's like New Yorkers and Texans. You know.
True.
There's some rivalries, but
Is
But
it-
we'll set that aside to attack the Californians.
or
true that
or the
Paki-
Chinese or the Russians or
Yeah. Is it true that like saying "packy" is like derogatory term?
yeah.
Okay, down in Houston, they have corner stores called Packy Mart. Are those Pakistanis that open them?
So okay,
nah?
yeah. So that's to distinguish Paki from Desi, which is an indication to Asians that this will have more Pakistani food items than Indian food
Okay,
items
okay.
because you'll see Desi Mart right next to it, and Desi means Indian. Also,
Okay.
can be derogatory if it comes from the wrong person.
I was always confused about that one.
But yeah, so it just depends on who's saying it. But it's the reason they call it Packing Mart is a lot of times to just distinguish it from Desi Mart. So
Okay. That makes sense.
yeah, it's
I think
it's a fine line. You can't use it. I can use it. Or
Right,
you know.
right. I get it. There was
We
one.
all know those words.
Yeah. We don't have to repeat them on the
No,
podcast.
we don't have to say them.
I mean, he already opened the.
But a lot of rap songs, it's appropriate for those words to be used, but they're not appropriate
Right.
in other
Is it-
settings. They're not
Is
appropriate.
it kind of a context thing?
It's a context thing. Yeah.
Get it. So yeah, we do have a couple.
If you're
questions.
actually being derogatory, it's in the right context.
Touche.
we gotta start with James' question. He only had one question for you today.
Sure.
But he wants to know if doing anal causes hemorrhoids. That was the only question he could think of. to ask a
So
doctor.
anything which creates
Wait.
pressure in that
Was
that
that
region.
a real question? Like
That's
you
what
really
he said
asked that
straight up.
question?
Does anal cause hemorrhoids? Oh, my phone is recording. Yeah, that was the question.
Idiot.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what I thought.
Anything that's going to cause pressure to that region can cause the blood vessels to engorge, can cause that.
That's why you're bleeding back there. It's not cancer.
But they're
Careful.
worth it, right? I mean, it's better than getting them from heavy lifting because you get them from lifting heavy objects.
Yeah, you might as well get it from pleasure, I
You
guess,
see-
if you're going for hemorrhoids.
If you looked at
You're
his-
already lifting.
I don't know if y'all saw it. Did y'all see James' eyes when I said we're going to start with James' question? He went, oh, shit, he's going to ask that?
Yeah, this is like every day for me. Questions like that.
Right?
Oh yeah.
if you looked
I get asked
at
all
his
kinds of stuff.
if you looked at his butthole, could you tell how big a one he could fit in there?
Well,
No, dude.
Like, could you tell how the elasticity
I might
just
be
by
able to
looking
tell
at it?
you if
She
it's
could guess from
if
looking at him
it's-
sitting down.
I might be able to tell you where it is on the curve. Like, hey, it's more than so and so.
Okay.
You know, like, oh, well, this is
She would have to
this
look
is
at
in the
everyone's
95th
butthole and, like,
percentile
gauges.
versus everything in medicine is all about percentiles. Like, is it in the 10th percentile? Is it in the 90th percentiles? And that's the sizes of lots of things. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
So it's like, where are you? You know, are you on the 10th percentile or is it the 95th percentile?
The audience needs to know these answers.
Oh my God.
What audience?
Great. Yeah, right. Yeah.
The one
Okay.
guy that watches us needs to know this.
Hey, so yeah, we're all getting older. We act like we're 15, but we're not anymore. Our bodies hurt. So I wanted to ask like old people shit, like prostates. I'm in my 40s, and I hear you're supposed to start getting that checked.
Like at 40.
Is that true?
I don't remember the exact cutoff, but yes, we do have to. You do have to look after things after 40 that you didn't have to worry
Why
about
is
before.
that? What changes? That like why is it not an issue prior to that?
So
Or is it just like a statistic where like
yeah,
people start getting it at that age?
that's exactly right. You just why do cars wear out after a certain an amount of mileage? Because they're just being used over
All the
and
parts are
over
made
and
in
over.
China.
So
Pooping a lot.
Pooping.
yeah.
40 years of that. Yep.
Yeah. So it's just all of that activity over the years, and then you know sometimes the cells just they get old and they start doing wonky things. They start growing when they're not supposed to grow, and that's what you know. That's
That makes sense.
that's why we do all these screenings after a certain age, because we know that they're more likely to start acting up after that age. They're much less likely prior to that age.
Okay, so if I go get that done, I'm definitely going to talk about it on here because everybody wants to know.
Well, you're
about
gonna
our
like
buttholes.
it.
But
Under
a
colonoscopy, tell us about that too.
Oh, the
colonoscopy?
juice before. Oh, Jesus.
I mean, I
when
think I
when you
did that
drink
to
that
myself.
juice, you better be like next to the toilet because
Oh,
that
it's that
stuff.
quick?
Oh, it's fast. But it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not that it's like it's
it's like
fast.
the OG.
Oh,
but
the
it's not like
Colace?
immediate. But when
Yeah.
it hits. Like you
there's
don't
no holding it.
you don't have time to get from point A to point. Like you
Huh.
better be at point B.
What is that drink?
It's like I don't know. They give it to you in a gallon jug and get flavor stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be a fun one to do on the pod.
It's laxative. No,
Where we all drink it and just see what happens.
not fun. Not Not
First one to make it to
fun.
the toilet is the winner that
You only
day.
have one toilet, so that means that we don't.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody else is just outside like, ah!
No, I would just take
Well,
this. I would
but
take
if
a sink.
someone is sitting here and doesn't make it to the toilet, you guys are all lose.
Yeah, well, my daughter cleans up the place, so
Who's the real loser?
Yeah, who's the real loser if someone doesn't make it to the
Yeah,
toilet?
she would be the real loser.
She would be the real loser.
Not too terribly many months ago, I came to see you because I had pink eye. Both these guys think the only way you can get pink eye
No,
is
not
because
through
I put-
sex?
It's because I put poop in my eye. But there are other ways to get pink eye. Am I
Yeah, you
correct?
can bare ass fart on someone's pillow and give them pink eye. You can do all
Can you
kinds
get
of stuff.
can you get pink eye from not butt stuff?
Yes.
Can you get pink eye from maybe rubbing like a hair product or a face
It-
product too close
it's-
to your eye?
It's
and
it's
mixing
usually
oils?
from the word pink eye. There's several. It's conjunctivitis, which is redness and inflammation of the eye. It can be caused by several different things: bacteria, any kind of bacteria.
From poop.
We're talking about the bacteria that causes strep throat, and the bacteria that gives you ear infections, and the bacteria that gives you colds and sinus infections. That same bacteria can give you pink eye. Viruses, the same viruses that give you everything else, can give you pink eye. But you can also get chemical conjunctivitis, which is from swimming in a pool. You can get allergic conjunctivitis from pollens. You can get the wrong mascara on yourself
slew
and
of
give
stuff.
yourself.
So when everybody when they're little kids they jump into like a hotel pool and there's like a
1,000
lot
germs, yeah.
of like chlorine and stuff in there.
Yeah.
And like your
Dude,
eyes turn
multiple
red.
states.
Is that
Yeah.
technically
That's chemical
As-
conjunctivitis.
like it goes away pretty
it goes
quick,
away really
but-
quick. Yep, absolutely.
And if you had pink eye and you didn't get it treated,
Yeah.
could it will it go away on its own?
Yeah,
And it
absolutely.
won't like cause you're not like gonna go
You're not going to
blind?
go blind. No.
Yeah, I think the only
It
thing...
can. So terrible eye infections can lead to blindness, but your garden variety pink eye can absolutely resolve without treatment. Lots of pink eye gets better. In fact, the majority of pink eye gets better without treatment.
Yeah, and I can barely remember last week, but I'm trying to remember our conversation. I'm pretty sure you said this will go away on its own, but I'm going to give you these eye drops.
Yeah.
Because it will help it along.
Yeah.
And I felt like they helped immediately.
Exactly. So
Immediately.
it's helpful, but if you didn't do anything and just waited
When am I
it
supposed
out,
to stop using them?
after you stop putting your poop in your eye.
How big of a jug did she give you?
Yeah.
It's
Damn.
like a bottle, yeah.
Was it like the Colace for the colonoscopy?
Yes, dude.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's just 7 days.
Do you have regulars at your office?
Yeah.
Like,
You.
kind of odd regulars, where they're just making up shit to come in?
Well, it's urgent to them. They're not making it up to themselves. Do I kind of roll my eyes? Yeah. Like,
In front of them?
Dude.
no, just
They
as
walk in
soon
and
as
she's
I
like,
close the door.
You're like, oh,
Again.
this asshole. Jesus.
Yeah, I was wondering. Yeah, we have some people that
But,
stop
you
in
know,
like
honestly, it's a paying customer. So really, I'm
that. Right.
like,
Charge it to the game.
come on in.
Like, yeah. Come in. I'll look at that.
Oh, it's
Splinter that
it's
you don't have.
absolutely urgent, and I must take care of this right away. And I'm the only person who can take care
Yeah,
of
they're
this.
like,
for
I
you.
have an ingrown fingernail again. And you're like, really?
Again?
Yeah, really? We went over this last week.
Stop biting your nail.
Yeah, that would be a problem.
But yeah, I've got lots of regulars.
Cool.
Yeah.
Heart attacks. Nick and I have partaken in things that will destroy someone's system for way too many years.
Haven't for many years.
Yeah, haven't for many years. But if we're talking percentages, how much quicker do you think someone would die if they abused uppers for like a decade?
I don't know that there's anyone who can tell you exactly. Everything's a percentage increase. Okay, so you don't do this, you don't do that, you have a percentage increase. But a lot of it is genetics. So if everyone in your family was kind of heart healthy, you might not.
So my biological father died at 52. My uncle died at 62.
And then someone adopted you.
No, all from heart attacks.
Oh.
So I'm probably going out pretty early.
Well, yeah. I mean that.
Clock's a ticking.
Yeah.
Clock's a ticking.
This could be your last podcast.
Good
Yeah, it could
God,
be.
damn.
We could be watching this.
We might not make it
on
through this one.
Sunday.
Yeah, we might not
and
make it through
think
this one. I got a triple shot over here.
He was a. We would just say he was a prophet.
Yeah.
He knew.
He knew exactly when.
Not a prophet. The.
Yeah. James has got like 103 on his death toll tag for years. I can't remember how we came up with that. We had a
tarot card
on.
reader.
Yeah. She read some cards. It was like, looks like 103. We were like, get the fuck out of here.
But you know, I feel like it's the unhappy,
fairness-
grumpy people that die.
In
Right?
fairness,
Yeah. They like the will to live. That seems to be the number one factor.
in fairness, BJ did tell her over 100 right before.
Oh, yeah. I
She
guess
said
so.
103. So, in fairness, BJ may have manifested that.
Well, you know what the
He
number
may
one
have.
predictor of longevity or long life is? Number one predictor of how long you're going to live.
Not doing butt stuff.
No, I would say
That's on the list, but it's less. It's
the number one predictor.
number one predictor of a long life, longevity, which is, are you going to outlive
Stress.
good things? Something that will increase your life.
Water.
Is it a relationship?
Social connectivity.
Huh.
Really?
Yep.
So you're saying all the guys that going alone are literally taking years off their life?
They are.
Holy shit.
And it's and so yeah, all of the lone wolves.
Oh my God.
It's social connection. And it's even if you and your
We gotta
spouse
get more
are
guests.
bickering, you're just bickering and bickering. If
have
you're
a
there
connection.
for each other when it matters the most, that is a predictor of long life. If you are the
shit.
guy who waves at your mailman, talks to your neighbor, that is a predictor of a long life.
Oh, shit.
And it's far more
it
effective
made
than
then.
cutting out smoking, cutting out drinking, cutting out. It's really just how connected
Hey,
you are.
we heard it from a doctor. We can smoke and drink all we want as
I'm
long as
gonna
we wave with the mailman.
I'm going to live fucking ever.
I'm like, oh, we got that in the fucking bag. We're never gonna die.
No fucking problem.
Holy
You
shit.
probably will
So-
live for a long time
so you know
because
how-
I can tell you guys are very socially connected.
So you know
I
how all
can't
these
live
all these
without it.
social media companies, they kind of like end up isolating people on their little islands and all these tech companies.
Right.
Dude,
They're taking years off our life.
that's the depopulation agenda at work.
Because you
Throw
really
your-
don't
throw
have
your phone in
friends.
the water.
You have a bunch of friends on Facebook, but you don't have anywhere to go on Saturday night. You don't have anyone to share your
That was
problems with.
I didn't realize I was like that. I kind of had a hint because of what I do for a living, but I didn't realize I was like that till COVID stuff.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as stuff stopped being open and you weren't supposed to go anywhere, I had to go to Home Depot every single day. Like I had to. I couldn't sit at home. I was like, no, I have to
Well,
say
that's
hello
not-
to
that's
at
not
least
the
2
whole
or 3 people.
That's
Even
not
if
the
it's
whole
the
story.
cashier,
What's the
even
whole
if
story?
it's...
The whole story is you were going to Home Depot because you were like, I might not ever be able to tattoo
Oh,
again,
yeah,
so I
also that.
think I'm going to be a carpenter
Dude,
now.
I maxed out multiple credit cards, getting every tool I ever needed. But for real, I was
So
like
you were
selling
learning a new
shelves.
trade.
Yeah, I was selling
Yeah.
little shelves and stuff on Marketplace, and like that's how we were buying
That's
groceries
awesome.
and stuff.
Oh, my gosh.
But yeah, we
that's
had a mortgage at the
amazing.
time and shit. I was like, oh, this fucking sucks real bad. We're gonna fucking lose
Yeah,
everything.
but the fact that you had something to rely on,
You have to.
I can't make anything or do anything.
Dude, I think you'd be
I don't know
surprised if
how
you
to
run
do
out of money,
anything.
how many things you can figure out.
Right?
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's also, not to be sexist, but that's also kind of like a man thing too. Like
The hunter-gatherer.
Like men, we like there's a problem and we just try to fix it.
I like
Yeah.
that
You know what I
Patrice
mean?
O'Neill stuff. He always says that, men are finders and women are keepers. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense in my brain.
Yeah. And you just started selling this stuff. Like,
Not a lot.
Where
I was
would
building
you
a bunch
sell
of,
it? Who would
I don't
buy
have any
it?
Sitting here.
I bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just little floating shelves.
still
I just
have
put
them?
together with a nailer.
They,
Like out
they're
of
still
pine.
together?
But yeah, I'll
Damn.
just drop one off at your office. It'd be
That's
like,
so
it was this.
interesting.
And they were so easy to make.
But what do you do with them?
You can
Well, it's like a
instead of
little
hanging-
floating shelf, so you can like
Yeah.
put it there, and it's got a lip on it. So you can
So-
just like change out paintings instead of having to put each one on your wall.
Instead of hanging up like a picture,
Yeah.
they just kind of
But how do you put it on the wall?
Well, you hang the shelf. You like screw it into the wall.
Oh, I
So
can't
it'll
even
have-
screw anything. I don't
Well,
even know
it'll-
how to do that.
You said you have kids. That's a lie.
You got trophies proven
Well,
different.
The backside that sits against the wall is like a 4-inch piece. And then it's got a lip that's like 2-inch, but there's a gap, right? So the screws hide behind that front gap. So it looks like it's just floating on the wall.
I am
That's why
nodding my
people
head.
like, oh, yeah, I'll have to
I
drop one
have
off.
Absolutely
And you'll be like,
no
oh.
idea what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Mansplaining? I forgot. I do
No,
that a
you're
lot.
not mansplaining. You are actually explaining because I really don't have any idea. Mansplaining is when I know a lot
You
more
didn't get
about
the
it than you
engineering
do.
part.
And yeah, I
When you-
have zero brain when it comes to that. But a lot of women would be mansplained because there's a lot of women who know how to do this stuff. Your
When you-
wife probably knows how to do this
When
stuff.
you see
can
one,
figure it out.
when
Yeah.
you see one, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that makes sense."
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like
I can barely assemble like IKEA stuff. I
that
like
shit's
look
so
at
fun.
it and I'm like, eh.
Those are fun puzzles.
So
I just
it's a
hate
skill to
that
have.
like all those like kit furniture things. Like I can't use power tools on them because
Yeah.
I always ruin something when I use power tools. Like I'll strip out you'll have to screw a screw in there and I'll strip it out because it's made out of junk. So like I just hate putting that shit together because you're sitting there with a little Allen key.
Oh, dude, I'll do that the whole time. I pretend like it's forearm workout.
You get plenty of forearm workouts.
True, but it's lopsided.
True.
It's lopsided.
True.
It's lopsided. All right, where else are we going? I'm out of questions. That's all I have.
You're out of
good.
questions.
I'm out of
That was
questions.
good.
You're
That was
out
good.
of questions.
All right.
That's it. That's all the questions.
That's all I had written down.
I had one, but I forgot it.
Oh, here we go.
All right. Well, let me
Okay,
ask. Let me ask you.
Alzheimer's.
Can I ask you about your life?
Yeah, go for it.
Because this is a very different. Like I don't get to do this, right? I don't get to sit in a parlor like this. I've never sat in a parlor like this.
Neither does he.
And I'm just wondering when a person so what do you do? You do tattoos, and what do you do?
I do construction management stuff.
Construction management. So
Yeah.
you
He used to tattoo,
okay.
and then
all
he
right.
decided he wanted to make big boy money.
And
Well,
I guess
Or go back
I
to
wanted
big
to
boy
go back
money.
to making real
He
money.
never really left
Yeah.
big boy money, but
Yeah.
so. What made you decide that that was what you were gonna do?
oh no, yeah, I landed in tattooing after a whole slew of like really really bad life decisions.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been doing this a while, like a couple decades. So it was this was like a career choice. You know what I mean? Like now it's like kids in high school are like, I might want to be a tattoo artist. But back when I got into it, it was very much everyone was like, what are you doing?
Okay.
This isn't a good idea, dude. It was like, oh, you're going to be a drug dealer?
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I was getting heavily tattooed and I was around when that opportunity arose and I never thought of it.
Yeah.
But that door opened and I wasn't doing anything.
Yeah.
nothing I liked anyway. And I was like, oh, I'll fill that gap.
That's exactly what happened to me too. Mm-hmm. I was getting heavily tattooed and around, and I was like,
And that door opened, and you were the guy. Yeah. But yeah, just kind of fell in it, and then completely fell in love with it. It's been a fun ride.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's not a lot of people that still love what they do that much.
I hear that a lot. Yeah.
Taking years off their life.
Well, and even that, a lot of the magic has disappeared for me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there was a lot of like mystery and stuff that takes some years to figure out because there isn't like formal training. You have to like, figure these things out. Mm-hmm. It's like a verbal history.
And
you know?
even if there was formal training, there's so many different ways to accomplish the same goal.
Right.
In tattooing that it's still
there's no wrong way to do the dishes.
There's no real right way and there's no real wrong way. There's definitely like things that you can do real wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's not really like rules and guidelines. It's not like you do this step, this step, this step, this step, this step, and you have to do it like this, or it won't work. Like,
my dad's
you
been
can
a
use a
welder
needle
his
in
whole
your
life,
hand,
and he like absolutely hates welding.
Okay.
But he's still solely just the tradesman. He's never like had his own business or anything like that, and I think that's a big reason why he hates it so much because he's like breaking his back every day.
Yeah.
But like the biggest part of the spark for me now is I have younger kids that work here, and getting to see them excited about this new thing they're trying to figure out just like brings back memories, and it's like, that's where I get all my fuel now.
Oh, wow.
Makes it fun.
Yeah.
Keeps me interested in it and wanting to come to work, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think if I was just doing this alone, I don't know if I'd still be doing it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, having those other people just keeps it alive.
no, you definitely wouldn't be able to sit in here by yourself.
No, I'd go insane.
Yeah, you'd even more than you are.
Yeah, that's how it was. When I opened this one, it's 5 years ago when I opened this place, and I was here by my lonesome for a few months before I found someone that was willing to like do something. And yeah, those 3 months, I was like, oh, this fucking sucks, dude.
Is that when you were calling me all the time saying, "Hey, stop up here. Mm-hmm. Come hang out."
Mm-hmm, all the time. Oh, wow. How about you? You're in there a lot by yourself, right?
Yeah, I am. But I'm always busy. Like, there's always stuff to do.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just you, or do you have like NPs?
I have 2 NPs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah, there's always so much work to do. There's always like.
Yeah, and yours is way different than mine.
Yeah.
I can't imagine the workload y'all have.
Yeah, it's just there's always. I mean, because when you're done seeing a patient, or when you're done seeing a client, you're done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's like minimal paperwork I got to finish.
Yeah, I still have like stuff to do,
No.
and then I have like lots of. There's always stuff to do.
Do you think like part of the years of schooling you have to do just train you for that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like just doing tons of bullshit at school?
All the time.
Huh. Yeah, I wouldn't make it through the
and
school
you
part.
actually have to do a lot of this stuff. You can't have like.
I could. I just can't
admin do
afford
it?
all that. I mean, the more people you add, the more you have to pay people.
Yeah, we were
And
talking about
so-
this earlier this week.
So like it's all about like staying in business. I've been in business 10 years. It's
Yeah, it's like the resources. We were bringing up Bezos. Like he's able to do so many things now because he's got infinite resources.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
most people don't have those kind of resources.
And once you get to that, like we talk about all the time, once you get to a certain point, money isn't real
At all.
either. Like,
well, and it's not your primary concern anymore.
Yeah,
I mean,
like-
it's really about what more can you do?
like some of those
What can you
guys, some of them
create?
folks have so much money, they're literally just looking for ways to find tax write-offs because at some point helicopters and jets don't do it for you anymore, and you're like, cool, it's
true.
cool, it's the new G6. I don't.
It's called ennui. It's a special word for like the boredom of the rich. Ennui. Where
I
you're
would
just
love
like,
to have that
where
problem.
you're just kind of
Ennui?
like
Like a
ENN.
constant slide?
No, it's just like a boredom that comes with
and then they try
having everything, and it's like
and then they try to buy shit that's not for sale. Like the education system.
Huh.
or they just tell you everything is for sale.
Oh yeah.
Some of them will do that.
Yeah.
I've met people like I used to work in strip clubs a long time ago, and we would meet some of these characters that thought they had shit tons of money and could treat people however.
But
And they would get so mad when they get beat up in a parking lot.
but those
They would get so mad, dude.
but those ones aren't the ones that have.
I don't know,
like,
man. Some of those dudes may have been those ones.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, money's dumb.
So I got a question to Twitch.
Go for
Oh
it.
shit.
Are we on Twitch right now? Ty.
So the question is, during COVID, did you use Zoom to see patients? And if so, how good is diagnosing over just by looking at them?
It's pretty decent for basic things. Rashes, ear
eye.
infections, pink eye, like your average coughs and colds, sinus infections, throat infections. Those telemedicine calls actually work beautifully, and there's actually guidelines that tell you what you can and can't treat over a Zoom. So I think I still do it. I still treat lots of patients via what we call telemedicine or Zoom, and so I think it works all the time. And what was great is that because I had a brick and mortar, and I'm so accessible, people could still come in if they weren't getting better. So I had that added security and trust, like, hey, you're not getting better in 3 days, you can come see me.
Dude,
So
I would feel like if I was in your shoes and that was an option, I would be taking full advantage of that.
yeah,
I'd be like, wait a minute, I don't have to drive all the way to work for these first 10 people. Like,
But then
awesome.
you're also kind of always at work.
Not really, if that's your allotted work time anyway, but you don't have to be in the office and super dressed up or like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Most people still wanted the human connection,
That was me.
and most people wanted to come in.
I had to do a few Zoom calls during that time, and I hated it. I was like, this is weird. I'm
Yeah,
not.
you don't feel like you're getting.
Earlier you were
Yeah.
talking about how during COVID you were going stir crazy and you had to go to Home Depot all the time. Well, I worked remote for a long time, pre and post COVID. Like working remote during COVID wasn't a new thing to me, but for a while when I went a long, because usually it was like work remote a couple of weeks and then travel somewhere for a week and work remote for a couple of weeks. But there was like a long stretch where I was remote all the time. I had to go and join a cult called CrossFit so I could go there every night and torture myself just in order to like be around people. Because otherwise I was going nuts. Like it was just me and my thoughts. And
In
then
a camper?
and
You can
then-
only do so much jerking off.
That was when I was here. I wasn't in a camper then.
Oh, okay.
And then the only other person I talked to is my wife. And I mean, I love her, but man, like I need to talk to other people too. Like,
Same. And my wife is the type, she can
And
just
she
sit
was
at
feeling
home.
the same way,
oh,
buddy.
absolutely. But she does hair, so she was talking to people all day, every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. My wife is the kind, she can sit at home like all day in the bedroom, chill with the TV.
Yeah.
So
Like,
she's
I
going to
can't.
die early
Dude, like,
because she doesn't have that social connection.
dude, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Isolating
I mean, she
herself.
has it through her job. Same, she does hair as well. But
But is it real
It has to
connection?
be
Eventually.
meaningful. It has to be meaningful.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
you
gotta-
know,
those aren't Those aren't real.
it just
Most
can't
of them.
be like a superficial. It's like we're
Right.
talking about.
Well, I
like,
don't know, man. I
meaningful
think theirs are a little bit more personal. They see the same person over and over again for years and years.
That's
You're
true.
learning everything about those
It's
people's
a lot
lives.
a lot of the clientele do become meaningful relationships.
I don't know.
Right.
My fat ass is pretty good friends with the pizza delivery guy.
Dude, I can make friends with anybody.
Yeah, we're pretty tight.
You guys can
Yeah.
make friends. I know you can make friends with anybody.
Yeah, I think my wife like kind of might hate it a little bit because everywhere we go, I'll just start conversations with random strangers.
Dude.
She's like, "What are you doing?
We're the same. We're the same person.
What are you
We're
doing?"
the same person. Like my wife will drag me out of a random conversation with a stranger. She'll
Yeah.
be like, "All right, come on, let's go." I'm like, "But
We just met
we're
Tim."
talking about Miatas, dude.
Yeah,
Like you're gonna interrupt this conversation?
yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. What are you doing?" And then she's like, "I just wish we had more friends." Yes, because you don't let me talk to people. Otherwise, we would have tons of friends.
Do you drink coffee? Do you have a coffee spot you like to frequent here? Is it Blackline?
No,
Which one is it?
I like Java L.
Java Al. He stops at that one a lot. He lives right behind it.
Yep. Oh, they're right there.
Oops.
I
should
just
probably
love.
cut out where he
I
lives.
love the small business owners. So
Right.
the guy's always there.
Yeah, we used to
Super
go to that
awesome.
one.
He is always
social,
there.
Social
they
connection.
just remodeled it a little bit inside.
Yeah,
Like
expanding
and it's
that
really
outside,
and it's
it
got
looked like.
really good coffee too. They make it really good.
I like that. I know it's like a chain, but I like the Summer Moon. That's right.
Oh,
over there,
yeah,
too.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
Dude, I already
yeah, and the
boycotted
donut
them
place.
Why?
because they won't take cash.
That
Oh, yeah,
parlor
that sucks.
donuts. Mm.
Have you been
I
to
haven't
Blackline?
tried that one yet.
I've been to Blackline, but I haven't.
Have
But
you
I
had
don't.
their donuts?
I don't
Dude.
remember anything.
Have you
I
been there on a Sunday?
No,
So
I've never.
Yeah, you should go on a Sunday and get their food.
Okay.
get a cinnamon roll. Like
Yeah.
Blackline's coffee is good
Sure.
too. Like, but they don't. I mean, they have the normal stuff, but their menu changes constantly.
Okay.
But on Sundays they have cinnamon rolls.
Okay.
It's the best cinnamon roll I've ever had.
Wow.
It's the shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
They got really
I'm
good
sold.
donuts too.
Yeah.
Blackline. Okay.
Yeah. But their donuts, if you get it, you have to like eat it right away. Like,
Okay,
They don't.
yeah.
They're like a brioche.
Yeah.
donut.
No.
They don't.
That's not a problem for me.
Yeah, it's not like a Shipley's
they're
where you're gonna get a
Not
dozen.
eating it right away is the problem
Yeah.
for me.
You're not
Their
gonna get a dozen of
kolaches,
them. Take
they
them
use
home.
real
Like,
sausage, and I'm a fan.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds
no
awesome.
hot dog weenies in the kolaches, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, John.
What time are we
That
at?
was awesome.
Are we close to 9? Okay, tight.
Yeah, quit worrying about
We
it.
still got minutes. I
Still
don't
got-
want to like make her late.
Still
for
got like
nothing.
15 minutes.
Oh
man.
yeah, it's okay. It's just my kids are home. That's all.
Yeah.
Just
It's all right. Yeah,
It's just my kids. We're all right.
yeah it's all
Dude,
right.
they're like
mean,
3 and 2. It's
okay.
fine.
The cage is the cage is big. It's fine.
They're like 3 and 2.
I
put
put
them in one
water
of
in a
them.
bowl. I mean,
They're fine. They'll
Put them
figure
in
it
that
out.
little ball pit thing. They're fine, dude.
It is kind of funny how like dumb kids are. Because like even when they're teenagers, like you'll be gone, you get a phone call, and they're like, "What's for dinner?" It's like, dude, the fridge is full. Like figure it out. Like I'm
I
not
don't
gonna be
know.
home.
dude,
until
I
later.
was 2 minutes late getting dinner out, and she'd already eaten whatever was there. Whatever, you know.
I don't think that's mutually exclusive to kids though. I've met a lot of adults that aren't real smart. However,
Yeah.
sorry everybody, but I did spend a lot of time working in Louisiana, so there's that.
I mean, we've kind of axed ourselves from that state already, haven't we? Just Dallas? All
Just
right,
Dallas.
Louisiana, let's go. Yeah, dude, there's a couple tight spots in Louisiana, but for the most part, that state's kind of not where it's at.
Yeah.
He's got a funny story. He had a site set up in Louisiana that he was like basically living at. Mm-hmm. But he told me this funny story about dudes trying to get a cold drink. You remember that? Mm-mm. Y'all put up a fence and they hopped the fence to go through the construction.
Yeah, at the job site?
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, so like we have a construction site that's inside of like an operational plant, right? So this little postage stamp of ground is owned by one company. Everything else is owned by another company. So like there's multiple reasons. One, we need to know who's on our site in case there's some sort of emergency and we have to evacuate. That way we go and we do a head count. We need to know how many people we're looking for, right? But not only that, but like the credentials are different for where we were to where they were going. So anyways, there's like a straight smuggling trail through this job site of people going over and getting cold drinks and whatnot. And like we put up a fence, and this is a job site, and I'm not talking about at lunchtime or at break time. I'm talking just like at 10:43. You'd see like 3 dudes climbing a fence. Like, what are you guys doing? Just going over here to get a cold drink. Where? Over here. They were like going to the cafeteria, which was like a mile and a half away. Like, guys, what are you doing? Like, when I started in construction, I was working in the field.
But most people, you walk up to a fence and you see something going on, you walk around it.
They're
just
climbing
like,
over
at the
it.
border.
That's the way we walk.
Except at the border.
And what's even worse
Exactly.
about it is not only were they were climbing over the fence and going to get cold drinks when they clearly were supposed to be working. It was like 35 feet and they could have walked around the fence. And there's a gate.
cold drink.
There's a gate to drive.
They could have just opened a door and
Yeah.
gone through the fence.
Not even. No. It's easier than that. There's a wide open gate to drive semi trucks in and out of all day long.
It's just that
35
habit,
feet
dude.
away.
They're creatures of habit.
Dude.
They're like, this is the way we walk.
Yeah, this is
It doesn't matter
it's
what
like,
you put
it's
there.
like
This
that
is our
herd.
thing.
It's like that herd mentality.
Yeah.
They're just gonna, and like if we somehow put like the barbed wire on top of it or whatever, they would have just like stood there and paced and tried to figure out a way.
Yeah, they would have found a way through the fence. Yeah, they would have found a way
Tunnel.
through the fence.
Jesus. Yeah.
Cajuns.
They were.
Yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah, they were from Louisiana.
Golly.
Oh my
They would have been better at it.
Yeah. They dig tunnels. We've seen
tunnels.
it. Yeah, James hits us with that every week.
Yeah, he's very anti-Semitic.
We don't know
Don't
what
know where
is
it comes from. Don't understand why, but
at all.
very anti-Semitic.
It makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense. Especially because
None
like
at all.
until like last week, I kind of thought he was Jewish.
Why?
I don't know.
It's
Just
hard to tell because he doesn't have any hair.
got that vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought his sideburns went away with the rest of his hair.
Nope.
Well, my cousin married a Jewish woman. He's Hindu. She's Jewish.
How does that work?
Well, their kids are Hindus.
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. I've always heard that diarrhea is hereditary
What
because
the-
it runs in your genes.
I have the same question, but I have never heard.
Waylon completely missed it.
Completely missed it.
Well,
It runs in your genes. I get it now. Okay.
Because you poop your pants.
well,
Yeah.
have you seen that new movie, Constipation?
No.
Yeah, it hasn't come out yet.
Nice. Do you get to use great jokes like these throughout your day?
Kids love them.
Yeah?
Yeah, dude. She hits
Big
me with
kids
them
too.
every time, dude.
Yeah?
Every time.
And
she's
you
hitting
love 'em,
jokes.
right?
Yes. So yeah, immediately, I can't remember the very first. Oh, I do remember the first visit. My at the time 1-year-old like stumbled on something at daycare and like split his head right here along his like
I
eyebrow.
remember that.
Yeah, I took him in to see if he needed stitches
I
or whatever.
remember that.
But yeah, you just put like a little suture thing on it and it was fine.
Yeah,
he's got
yeah.
the tiniest little
Yeah,
scar. It's
Dermabond
cute.
glued it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time. But yeah, even in that, you would like cracked a couple jokes, and I was like, "Come in here from now on." Yeah, I was like, "This, yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
feels like a relatable person."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
yeah,
doctor
yeah.
I'd ever been to before, I always just felt like I was just like,
You're with a wooden stick.
"I'm the number now." You know what I mean? I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't you just talk like a
Our
person? I
profession
don't
has sort of
understand.
beaten us down that way.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the bigger ones too. Well, so yeah, it's pharmaceutical companies and insurance agencies have made it almost impossible for you to like run your own practice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's more investor based. So most doctor
It's very
offices are
difficult.
like investor based.
Large corporations have taken over medicine. So so being an independent practitioner, it's just really hard.
Yeah, I had
It's hard.
a former pediatrician tell us, because I kind of got close with him. He was also, long story, he was in the hospital when the kids were born too, so like we talked a lot, but there was always a woman in the room with us with a computer, and it was always like, hey, she's here taking notes. But later, through like YouTube videos, I heard that was like quality assurance people. And they're like making sure the visits are going on schedule, so
they're,
they
like,
can make
doing
enough money
audits?
each day. And then I asked him about it while she was there, and he just sat there and broke it all down. And he's like, yeah, I'm only allowed 15 minutes per patient, and if we don't keep up with our quotas, we don't have a job anymore. And I was like, oh, what the fuck? He's like, yeah, after every visit, I go out with her in the hallway for 5 minutes, and she schools me on what could have moved along faster. And I was like, that is fucked. But yeah, that's who we were taking our kids to prior. And I was like, we got to stop coming here. Like, we might need more than 15 minutes at some point. Like,
You might actually
crazy.
want a human being who cares about
right.
you.
Yeah, and I felt bad for that guy. He's obviously got student loans and a family to feed.
Yeah,
and he's
I mean,
in this
that's-
weird spot.
It's like
It's-
it's like a weird trap.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just the way things are. It's the
Yeah,
way
it
things
sucks.
are. You
'Cause
gotta
the
fight the
pediatrician we
system.
use is she's like a real person, and she'll if you ask the right questions, she'll go down some holes.
Oh, that's
she'll
tight.
go down to some rabbit holes.
Yeah,
and
that's
actually, my wife's OBGYN was actually very open minded to things, and
Okay.
I was kind of like just
Surprised?
because like literally she peed on a stick. We were like, shit, we're having a kid. Went to the doctor, and the first appointment, I like laid on some kind of controversial questions, and she like no hesitation at all gave me the answer that like I would hope somebody would give, but it wasn't the answer that I thought I was going to get, right? And I was like, oh,
Yeah, that's tight.
huh. That's pretty
tight.
cool. And then partway through the pregnancy, she actually left one hospital, went to another one because of a certain requirement that was being pushed at that hospital.
Oh, I remember this transition. It was probably something, just the hospitals right here on NASA Parkway. And
Yeah.
and Clear Lake areas. Yeah, I remember all that going
Yeah.
down. I remember that group and
Yeah.
those people.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah. But she was great. She was awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so
I
this,
think I know who you're talking about.
So with like these corporate takeovers and like visits being restrained and all these different directions, if you're an older person, say like our age or even older, would it not be in your best benefit to find a doctor that is much younger than you so that you can create some kind of bond? Because if you're old and they're only given 15 minutes and you got to find a new one, they definitely don't have time for all your ailments at that point, right? Like they're not even going to take on old people.
I would suggest that people find physicians who own their own practices. They're the
Right.
most motivated to take the most care of you.
And they need the clients the most, too.
And so the more you support doctors who work for themselves, the more that you influence that economy.
They don't have the protocols either that a lot of these like big hospitals
Exactly.
have.
So like the nurse practitioners that work with me do not work with the same protocols that CVS and Walgreens do. I mean, I don't
Can we
shove.
talk about these protocols, like what they are?
Yeah.
Or what?
Sure. Absolutely.
yeah, what do-
they're not a
so-
mystery at all. So
so-
protocol would be
Yeah.
you come in and you're like, dude, I've got this terrible cold and I just need some antibiotics because I know myself and I know that my face hurts and okay, sir, well, it's only been 3 days and you don't have a fever, so I can't give you antibiotics. Because why? Their protocol says X number of days of symptoms and no fever and blah, blah, blah.
It's like a multiplication table.
Yeah, equals no antibiotics.
I kind of had an experience with this when I went to go see a psychologist.
Yeah. They didn't give you antibiotics?
No,
Or antidepressants?
it was
He was like, "Hey
No.
doc, I got this broken arm,
Yeah.
dude."
no, it
And
was
the psychologist is like,
No, dude, you're the wrong kind of doctor.
No, my
dipshit.
therapist was like, "Hey, I think meds might be helping us work through some of this stuff." He's like, "I don't think I can give you all the things you need. I'm going to recommend that you go to a psychologist and have them evaluate you,
Right.
see what's up." But once I got there, like one, it was crazy fucking expensive.
yeah.
For like what it was.
Mental health is very
Dude,
expensive.
and then once I actually got there, it was like basically a double charge because he sent me to another floor to go take a P test that I didn't know I was going to like be charged for that day.
Right.
Did you study?
But the evaluation was literally this. She took my weight, and then she went down a checklist on her computer, and that was it. And it was like, here's your pills. And I was like, this wasn't we didn't communicate at all
It's
about anything
my
going
mental
on.
health is not better at all right
It's a-
now.
it's a pill farm, basically.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
And that's all I felt like was like cattle.
Yeah.
But they gave me meth, so I took it.
Yeah, well,
And then I started feeling like a crackhead shortly into it, so I stopped taking it.
then
then
you had
like-
to go to
and then
another
I
doctor
can't
to try
do
to
that.
get
and then
off of
started
it.
again.
Well, I just stopped, yeah.
and then started again.
It was Focalin.
Stop.
Right? Am I saying that right? Focalin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Focalin, but yeah.
Right, there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I had. And it was just way too much. And I went and told them it was way too much, and they wanted to like up the dose. And I was like, what if we backed off the dose?
Isn't some of that mental health stuff? A lot of it's sort of nonsense too, isn't it? Like so in high school,
It's
I
hard
had
to distinguish.
in high school, I had to take psychology, and I like to kind of argue about shit. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
and
would agree with
psychology is like it's all
No, you didn't.
It's all theoretical.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all theoretical. So like my teacher,
No, it's not.
he would be like, this is the answer. I'd be like, well, couldn't it also be
She never
argued
on
that
show, right?
that this is the answer? And teacher hated me because I argued
bet.
constantly because I was like, it's all like you don't really know. You're taking a guess, and
Your
it's
parents
like,
should have sent you to church school for shits and giggles.
huh?
Your parents should have sent you to church school for shits
Ah, that
and
wasn't an
giggles,
option.
dude.
Church school wasn't an option. I grew up in a small town, man.
I feel like that would have been the only option. in a small
Homeschool.
town. Dude, I'm gonna try that with my
Homeschool
6-year-old
was
next
not
year.
an option for me either. That would have been called no
Detention.
school. That would have been called
Do you
no
homeschool
school.
or no?
No,
No, I'm trying with.
I wouldn't know how. I wouldn't know where to start.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna try next year.
You can get all the stuff online now.
That's what everybody
thinking-
tells me.
We're thinking about doing it because I don't know. There's just a lot of nonsense that
Well, our first grader hates going to school every day, and our 4-year-old we have in a little private homeschool from a teacher that recently just quit and started her own thing.
Yeah.
They basically play outside all day long. Yeah, and it's fucking
And,
awesome.
and
He
you know
loves
what?
it.
They'll probably make higher scores than all those kids
Yeah.
sitting in there.
She
you know.
sends us videos. All these
It's
kids
like
are working
what,
together.
those
to, like-
studies about the Finnish kids or the Swedish kids or the
Mm-hmm.
Norwegian kids who go to school half the amount that we do and really
Yeah.
spend a lot more time with their families and so on. And they ace those tests.
Right.
You know.
I'm gonna try. I'm probably gonna go insane trying to do it, but if it
Good for
gives him a
you.
better life, I guess.
maybe.
Good for you.
Fuck.
Good for you.
We'll find out. We'll
Yeah,
find out.
we're thinking about doing that too, but we have to figure out the whole timing, and
The
everything.
logistics is the hard part.
Logistics, yeah.
Yep.
But we got some time before we have to worry about that with mine.
Yeah, his isn't one yet.
He'll be one on Monday.
He's the only one. On Monday already? Dang, I thought he was like 3 months old.
You have a 1-year-old?
Yeah. I know, he looks too fucking old for this shit, right?
No way. I just remember those days. God, they're so brutal.
Do you ever miss it?
We,
No.
No?
We
Dude, I
are-
miss that shit all the time.
No
are,
way.
I kind of hate using this word, but we
Hate
are
kids.
absolutely blessed with ours because after at like the 6-week mark, up until that point, he was sleeping, and we would wake him up every 3 hours to feed him. After like 6 weeks, my wife was like, I'm just gonna try not to do that.
Now you just wake up and eat every 3 hours?
And he boom. The first night we tried it, we moved him out of the bassinet into his crib, and she was like, I'm not gonna go in there and wake him up tonight and see what happens. Put him to sleep at, I don't know, 7:30, 8 o'clock. He slept till like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, never made a peep. He's been sleeping pretty much all night ever since.
They need to make a second one, right?
With the exception of like a few times when he was sick, he'd wake up coughing and he'd wake himself up because he goes to daycare, so he's a petri dish. But yeah, dude,
That's amazing.
like I can't complain at all.
That's
but
amazing.
I attribute all of that sleeping, that good sleep and stuff, to I believe she was a nurse. Her name is Kara, and she's got an online course called Taking Care of Babies. And I watched it, and I was like, this seems like nonsense. And baby was born. We did it. I was like, okay, it's not nonsense. Now, anybody that's pregnant, I'm like, hey, I know it sounds ridiculous, but this would be my number one recommendation: is spend the $200 and watch these like 17 videos that you get, and just try.
I want to hear feedback from all these people you're sending to that course that are boning out that money, because I think it's probably more genetics of your kid than anything.
I don't know, but this wasn't like sleep training like you think it would be. It was basically coming up with a feeding schedule. Like, and he's still on a rigid feeding schedule, because apparently that's the key to them sleeping good, is you have to get them their calories before they go to bed.
Huh.
So you get them on like.
I always thought it was just like, I can't be awake anymore. This baby's got to go to bed now.
No, it's like you got to get them on the right feeding schedule, and you have to time it right.
Yeah, he took forever to have a kid, and I have 4. So once I found out he was pregnant, I was like, oh my God, this rules. Your life's going to suck now too. And that was my congratulations to him.
Yeah, but
And his life hasn't sucked.
No,
he keeps coming with stories like this. I'm like, this motherfucker.
yeah, my kid's been.
Yeah, now it's going to be my kid's better than yours.
My
Yeah,
kid,
the whole
my
time,
kid's
dude.
been my kid's been great so
The whole
far.
time. His kid's going to grow up with a boat. You know what I mean? He's going to be that kid. I'm
No,
like, God
no,
damn it.
my parents are in town right now.
That he built himself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's already got a $400 buggy.
Yeah, he does already have it.
That's right.
Not even
You know what it's called? It's called the Chariot. Called the fucking Chariot.
I love it.
Yeah,
Does it look like a gladiator on Halloween or what?
done.
Dude.
Yeah,
Done.
you're welcome.
Dude.
Done.
That would be awesome.
I'm
He
gonna-
would be like all Russell Crowe and stuff.
Fat
like just,
Russell Crowe now. Russell Crowe now, not when he was in the
Okay,
Gladiator.
Russell Crowe back then.
No, I can't be that. I'll be Russell
Dude,
Crowe
the fat
now.
one is ridiculously looking. Yeah. That's
I'll
funny.
be him now. Yeah.
That's funny. We hit it. All right, we hit it. Hey, thanks for coming and doing this.
Oh,
This
it's
was
my
awesome.
pleasure. Thanks for
Yeah, that was sick.
This was awesome.
You want to do the intro?
Yeah, we'll do an intro now. Hey, you can find this second hour on Patreon. We're going to be shooting the shit, and we also got that date, bowling trip, I think is what we're doing. We're going to figure it out in the next hour. We got to talk about the Tree Ventures. Oh, yeah, you said you don't get nervous anymore? You should go check out Tree Ventures in the Woodlands. Just go with your husband.
I have done something similar, and you are absolutely right. It is
Dude.
freaky.
That shit
It
was
is
scary
hard
as
and
fuck.
super scary. I
Did
know.
they have-
Yes,
did they have-
I'm just sweating
that's
right now just
not
bringing
that's
it
not
up.
being nervous. That's just being terrified.
Yeah.
There's a
did they have
difference.
zip lines?
There's a little bit of shy and
no, they had
nervous, and then
something
there's
different.
oh my god, I am
Yeah.
going to die.
Yeah, it was all fun until I stepped out on a platform, and then I was just hugging the pole. I was like, we're done.
I know.
You're sweating right now.
That was hard.
Adrenaline's
It was hard.
Well, yeah, all right. Links below. Bye, guys. Yeah, thanks for doing that.